Hey guys, welcome to Tasty Kitchen. I'm Taya. We are back and we are going to do another delicious recipe. All of the sunshine over here on the West Coast has made me want to make something a little bit more summery. So we are taking a classic, which is a cinnamon roll, and we are adding a twist of blackberries. So we're gonna add blackberries to the filling. This is my blackberry sweet rolls. You can find this on my blog, tasty.com. And we're gonna get started. We're gonna make the dough first, and then we'll focus on the filling later because the dough has to rest. We have half a cup. We have half a cup of buttermilk. Now, if you don't have buttermilk, you can use regular milk. I just like buttermilk. That's warm. And we are going to activate 2 teaspoons of yeast with 1 tablespoon of sugar. And we are going to let that work its magic. So give it about 10 minutes. We'll put that to the side. And then we have 3 cups of all-purpose flour. So we're gonna just make a little bit of a well. And we're gonna add 2 eggs. And we've got a 1/4 cup of sugar and a 1/4 cup of melted butter. That's cool. You don't want it to be too hot. And a pinch of salt. Okay, and then we're gonna add our buttermilk and our yeast with the sugar. Make sure you get it all. And then we are going to mix. See how easy it is? Now this dough can be used to make regular cinnamon rolls, or I do another one with Nutella and hazelnuts. So you can basically do whatever you wish. So slowly work this in until it becomes a nice dough. You might have to use your hands at some point. If your dough feels a little too dry, you can add a tablespoon at a time of water until you get the right consistency. I feel like I'm out of breath. This is a lot. Okay, once you have a beautiful smooth dough, form it into a ball, put it in a greased bowl, wrap it with saran wrap, and let it rest for an hour or until it doubles in size. So we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so while our dough is resting, we're gonna make the filling. So we have about 1 1/3 cup of fresh blackberries, and we are going to add a 1/4 cup of sugar, about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and a tablespoon of cinnamon. And we are going to take this whisk, and we are going to mush up the berries. You want to be gradual with the lemon juice when you add it because we don't want the mixture to be too wet. And then once this is nice and mushed up, we can place it in the fridge until we're ready to use it. Okay, we are going to make a cream cheese frosting. Very simple. We have about a 1/4 cup of cream cheese. It can be a little bit more. It's not an exact. We have 3/4 cups of powdered sugar and about 2 tablespoons of milk to start. And we are just going to carefully mix this up. You want it to be a good drizzle consistency. So obviously you don't want it too thick. And once it's nice and smooth, that's it. It's ready to be topped. Okay, so our dough has risen. We've let it rest for about an hour. Just gonna punch it down, take it out. Now add some flour to the bottom of wherever you're gonna roll your dough out. And we are going to roll this out into a large rectangle. And it's gonna take some muscle. Okay, so we've made somewhat of a large rectangle. It doesn't have to be perfect. And we're gonna take some soft butter. We're gonna lather our dough in soft butter. So nice, good coating of butter. And then we're just going to sprinkle a light coat of sugar, because why not? Might as well. And then we have our blackberry mixture, and we are just going to spread all the way across. Try to leave out as much of the super liquidy stuff, if that made sense. Okay, this is where things get a little messy. So you want to make sure when you put your mixture on that you leave a bit of an edge. Okay, and now we're just going to tightly roll the mixture, the dough, whatever you want to say, and it's gonna get messy. And we're gonna cut these probably about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. Okay, it's gonna be wet. Do not fret. That rhymed. We're gonna cut and we're gonna place these into a greased pan. I'm using a pie pan. So you're gonna place these into a pan of your choice. I'm using a pie pan. And as I mentioned, it's gonna be a little messy because of the blackberries. Do not fret. I'm lying. Oh my God, I'm so distracted right now. The dog is freaking chewing on things. Place in a pan of your choice. I'm using a pie pan. Make sure that you grease it, okay? It's my fault, I shouldn't have given her that ball. Super messy. It's like a crime scene in here. And we are going to cover these and let them rest for another 20 minutes. And then we will bake them. So right now what you should do is preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Allow these to rest for about 20 minutes and then we'll get on to the next step. But I'm gonna clean this mess. Okay guys. Oh. We have let these rest for another 20 minutes. You can tell that they start to swell a little bit more. And now we are going to bake in the oven at 375 for about 20 minutes until it gets golden brown. And then we're gonna reduce the heat to 300 and cook for another 10-15 minutes. So here we go. Okay guys, look at how amazing these look. So again, once you cook them in the oven, you keep an eye on them. As soon as they start to go golden brown, you want to reduce the heat to 300 and then let them continue cooking until they look like this. So they smell absolutely amazing. You will notice when you put them in the oven after your final proof that there's a lot of that blackberry liquid that's on the bottom, but as it cooks, it reduces down, it caramelizes because of all the sugar. And so you will find it's more like a sticky jam now instead of just like a loose liquid. So these are nice and cooked. We're gonna let them cool for about 5 to 10 minutes and then we're going to add our frosting and then devour. We have let them cool. We have our delicious cream cheese frosting that we're going to drizzle over top. And then they're gonna be ready to eat. It doesn't have to be perfect, just glob it on. And as I mentioned with this recipe, you don't have to add the blackberries. You can use the dough as your base and then create whatever filling you like. We do a lot of Nutella with hazelnut and cinnamon. We do regular cinnamon rolls. You can do a savory cinnamon roll if you like, so with cheese and ham, basically whatever you want. But this, you have to try with blackberries. Or you can do raspberries. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I'm gonna go grab a knife and we're gonna try one of these. I'm just gonna use a knife, get in there. Oh my goodness, pan's still hot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's great too because they pop right out just as like a whole, oh. That was hot. I'm just gonna pull this apart. Oh, it's really hot. Okay. Oh my God. By far my favorite sweet roll recipe. The combination of the berry kind of cuts the sweetness. And of course you have the classic cream cheese frosting. It's so good, especially warm. All right, guys. This is my blackberry sweet roll recipe. It's delicious. It's great for the summer season, spring, summer. And I hope you enjoyed it.